Okay, a lot of people have been asking for recipes, venison recipes. Well, we got one. Now, first of all, hopefully, if you have seen the DVD on how to process your own meat, or you go to a butcher, hopefully you get some good cuts. Hopefully you don't take it all and make it into jerky or summer sausage. You don't know what you're missing. If you get a nice prime cut, this is tenderloin, backstrap of a, this is this year's buck that my wife took. Now, all I do is cut them into pieces about like that, so you can make a nice little piece of filet here. And what we're going to do is take this, we got a piece of bacon around it because deer meat, as you can see, has no fat in it. Absolutely no fat in it. So what that does is kind of put some fat around it. You don't necessarily have to eat the bacon for health reasons if you don't want to. But here is your basic ingredients. This is a no marinade recipe. What I have here is butter, real butter. Cavender's Greek seasoning. You can buy this stuff anywhere. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Kroger's. They've all got it. It's great seasonings that really accentuate the flavor of venison. And some beef bouillon granules. Now, you don't want the bouillon cubes, you want the granules here so you can spread this around and that'll dissolve in your sauce. Got some, of course, red currant jelly. Now, a lot of times you have to look pretty hard for this. It's usually in your finer stores and in the specialty jelly department. And some red cooking wines, just red wine or red cooking wine. All right, now, there's nothing better than fresh cracked pepper and a bunch of it. And just a little salt. And let's turn that over and do the same thing on the other side. Now again, there's no marinade involved here. This is something you can do. It's fairly easy. All right, I'm going to put 3/4 of a stick of butter in there. So let's let that melt. Let's not get it too hot. Then, I talked about our Cavender's earlier, the Greek seasoning. We're going to take that and very liberally apply some Cavender's in there. Okay, make sure you don't burn your butter. Just turn the heat down. Just keep that at a nice warm level. Now in a separate pan, we're preparing a sauce that we're going to put over the meat when it's done. Okay, we're going to put some red wine in there. And of course our currant jelly, which really, you'll see me cooking a lot with that when I'm using venison. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of that in there to sweeten it up a little bit. All right, and you're going to pour you some bouillon in here. I would say at least a tablespoon. Now, as you're cooking this down, later on, I'm not big on measuring, as you know, but as you're cooking this down, you taste it. Dip your finger into it and taste it. Now again, this is to put over the steak when you're done, and this, some people like sweet, some people like salty. This is kind of a sweet and salty. It's hard to explain, but do it to taste. If you like it a little sweeter, you might even want to put a little cane sugar in it. You kind of taste as you go along. Pretty close. I haven't even started cooking this yet, but I know what I want it to taste like. Later on, I'm going to reduce that down, get it nice and thick, and we will pour that over the finished product. Now, I have my ingredients for the sauce here. I have my butter just melted. I don't want to cook it to the boiling point. I just want to get it melted with Cavender's in it. This other sauce that we're going to pour on later, I'm not even going to heat it up yet. It's time sensitive. When we get the steaks in here and they're beginning to cool, I'm going to put this up on high heat, reduce it down. You don't want to run off and leave this while your meat's on the grill because it will burn. I'm going to reduce that down until it gets to a thicker sauce, and then we pour that over the steak. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to set these on a very hot grill. You know, so many people try to disguise the taste of venison, but you find if you process it right, there's no need to disguise that. You've got all the silver seam off. It's a good flavor in itself. You don't have to saturate it and marinate until you hide the whole flavor. The interior of this meat is going to be nothing but venison. Again, all we've done so far is just wrap a piece of bacon around it, because again, it has zero fat in it. This is the butter and the Cavender's that we cooked earlier. Again, I'm not going to overdo it. You remember what we put together earlier, the wine sauce. Now we're going to take this and we're going to bring it up on a high boil. Now you got to constantly stir it. Make sure you don't burn it until it starts to reduce down. Now reducing down means it's going to get thicker and thicker. The wine's going to boil out of it. All right, now here's the part where you bring in your reduced sauce. You pour that on, a little bit on the plate. Now, you could have some baked potato along with this, a little bit of asparagus, Brussels sprouts if you don't like that green stuff, whatever, corn, green beans, however you like it. Remember that when you're putting your meat up or having your butcher put your meat up, cut it like you like it. And this is just exactly the size I like it. You can put a piece of bacon around it. Try this. Oh my goodness. Now this is tenderloin from a buck that my wife took, and let me tell you what, it's good. There's no bad taste, and you're going to like it. I don't know what to call it. There's just venison tenderloin with a little wine sauce. Ooh, try it. You'll like it.